Weight loss over 50 feels absolutely impossible until you do these three simple things. I'm about to share with you three proven tips that will help you lose the weight that you've been struggling with for so long. And the third is something that no one ever really talks about. I've lost over 20 kilos and I've kept that off for 16 years. And in the last 10 to 12 years, I've helped over 1,000 people over the age of 40 do exactly the same thing. And the average weight loss that comes out of our fitness studio is 20 kilos. That's about 44 pounds, okay, for the American guys. And what I'm about to show you is the key to long lasting results. Okay guys, I'm going to make this super easy for you, super simple for you to understand, so that ultimately you're going to be able to lose weight after 50 without having to guess and struggle and all those other things. You can see on the screen there a really cool nutrition label. That's how we have them in New Zealand anyway, and it's very similar across the world anyway, the same as the UK. And what you can see the calories, and you can see the circle above it is the portion size, okay, serving size. Now, a lot of us actually don't pay any attention to this whatsoever, and it becomes a huge issue because you might think that the calories are what you eat from the packet, but actually it could be a double serving size in it, which means there's 240 calories now, like 480, which is massive, okay? So first of all, I want you to think about this as being simple. Go back to basics. Don't worry about the carbs and the fats and proteins, all that stuff just yet. We can do that down the track. Let's not major in the minors, okay? Let's just understand that weight loss is calories in, calories out. It is that. And if you understand the calories in your food, you're able to make better judgments and decisions as you go through. And it could be, think of it this way. If you've got 2,000 calories to eat per day, that is a budget. And if you know how much you're spending every single mouthful and every single sort of meal that you have, you're going to be way further ahead because you're using the budget. Think of it this way. If I give you $2,000 to spend today and you could buy 2,000 $1 things, or you could buy, two 1,000 things. But if you buy 100 1,000 things because you didn't know the price of that item, then you're going to blow your budget and you're going to be in debt. And debt in terms of weight loss is actually added stored body fat. So you've got to understand that you need to understand your food labels. You need to understand exactly what is in the foods that you eat so that you can make better informed decisions moving down the track. And at this point, we're not going to worry too much about food quality, although that is super important. We're just going to understand what you currently do in your diet. Because the thing of it is that all of us who try and lose weight, and I've lost over 20 kilos, I've kept that off for 16 years. I was an ex-yo-yo dieter. I was a big fat guy, and I'd yo-yo diet. I try this diet, try that diet, and ultimately always failed because I didn't understand the principles of weight loss. When I understood the calories, the one I'm about to share with you, the light bulb went on, penny dropped, big epiphany. I just need to understand how many calories are in my food, and that becomes the actual focus for me and my clients, who on average lose about 20 kilos when they work with us, which is pretty damn cool. So let's go to the next slide. You can see here that you've got two food items. One is a banana. That's 100 calories per 100 grams. And you can also see peanuts, 567 calories per 100 grams. Now, the thing of it is, when you snack on nuts, there's lots and lots of fat in those nuts. And actually, fat is a very calorie-dense macronutrient. There's 9 calories per gram for every gram of fat, essentially, whereas carbs and protein are 4 calories per gram. So when you're snacking on peanuts, it's very easy to eat 100 grams of peanuts because they're salty, they're moreish. You may have done keto before and you feel they're a healthy snack, and the good fats and all other good stuff is going to help you lose weight. But actual fact is, it doesn't matter what diet you follow. If you understand the calories in the food that you eat, you're never going to have to guess. I've done keto and I've also done intermittent fasting and all those things. And one thing I did differently to any other diet I did was I tracked my calories. And as if whatever diet I followed, it didn't matter. If my calories were the same, the weight was the same. It didn't really make a difference. And when I get clients to do it, doesn't matter what diet they follow, I get them to do this exercise first to understand the calories that are in their foods, okay? So we're going to pop onto the next slide now. And you can see here, protein, very, very important. But there are leaner sources of protein and there are higher calorie fatty sources of protein. And we've got two alternatives here. So let's just say you've got 100 grams of a steak. It's 271 calories. That's a lot. but 100 grams of chicken breast is 165 calories. So now you know that when you go out for a meal or when you cook your own dinner, to save calories, you can actually eat a lower calorie option, because and in fact, you could probably eat 2 chicken breasts if you wanted to, okay? If you want that to keep you full. So the fact of the matter is, we just want to make your diet better for now, before we move in to do other things. Because if you try and do a new diet, it's going to be super hard. You're not going to be able to follow it. But you already have your own diet. Let's just make that a little bit better. And the way you make it better is by understanding the calories in the foods that you currently eat. Now, when I bring this concept into our nutrition workshops at the fitness studio, people will have 2 reactions. They either go, "Oh my God, I have no idea," or they act in a little bit of disbelief. But I can promise you, I haven't gone through this myself personally, keeping 20 kilos off for 16 years, I can 100% tell you, trust this process. And I promise you that you're going to be able to lose weight. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter what your metabolism is doing, all those things. I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute anyway. Now, the third thing I'm going to show you, or the third food item, is oil and fats. A lot of us, when we're cooking and putting butter on breads and things like that, miscalculate, like, what does 10 grams look like? You've never weighed it out. You don't know. But for 10 grams of butter is 71 calories. 10 grams of olive oil is 88 calories. So if you're drizzling oil on things, you could quite easily have 300 calories of oil on that salad dressing, okay? And you have a healthy salad, you think the salad is healthy, but you're actually putting all this extra stuff on, and it's going to blow your calories out of the water. Same things with mayos and sauces and things like that. They do the same thing. So now hopefully I've shown you that the certain foods have the different calories per portion sizes, and that's what I want you to focus on. Now, number 2, okay? We understand the calories. Now we understand the portion sizes. How do you know what the portion sizes are? Well, this is what you're going to do. You're literally going to grab a scales. And I know you don't know weigh your food out, and a lot of people will say it gives you an eating disorder. It doesn't. Think of the weighing scales as your accountant. Think of it that way. Or think of your bank balance when you look at your bank balance. You don't go out every month and frivolously spend money everywhere. You know what your budget is. And if you overspend, you know you need to pay that back. All right. This is the same thing. But if you can weigh your food out to understand what a serving size looks like, I promise you that you're going to make a big difference. Okay. So let's just go back to those same slides. And like I said, 100 calorie banana is 100 grams. A 200 calorie banana is 200 grams. And you might think you're having a banana is a larger and is a small one. Because at the end of the day, the food that you put into your body has calories in it. And your body doesn't lie. It knows if you've overeaten it. Same with peanuts. If you had 200 grams of peanuts, it's 1,000 calories. That could potentially be half of your daily calories. And I know people that work in offices are snacking all day long. They will quite easily go through 100, 150 grams of peanuts per day, because they're avoiding fruit because they think it's high sugar and it's bad for them. When actually it is really the opposite. We go back into our meat thing. So you can see if you add 200 grams of steak, that itself is 300 calories. That is a lot of calories for that one thing. And these are backwards, actually. I didn't change the slides around. The chicken should be 300 calories and the beef is 542 calories per 200 grams. Okay, you can swap them over. But again, you can see the massive difference between the two. And you could essentially have, more chicken than you can beef, which will get you more protein as well. So if you're on a very low calorie, calorie restricted diet, you need to be choosing, lean proteins like fish and chicken and maybe sometimes pork and sometimes turkey as well, right? So you've got to understand that. So the last one then is going to be your oils as well. So if you're not sure, about that, then you need to understand that, what's 20 grams. It's easy to put 20 grams of oil in the pan, or 20 grams of butter on a sandwich. It's so easy, but it becomes 142 calories or 176 calories. And it's stuff that you don't even realize. So you might be asking, like, how on earth do we do this? You literally weigh this stuff out. So if you were to put your can of something onto a scales, you would press 0, and then you would empty stuff out, and whatever was left would be the grammage or the milliliters or wherever that is for you, right? But this is a process that you have to kind of do. Now, I also know what you're thinking. I can guesstimate this at all. And I'm going to prove to you right this moment that you cannot guess the weight of a certain food. And I want you to do this with me. I want you to go and grab 2 to 3 pieces of fruit or a veg. It doesn't matter what it is. Grab yourself a weighing scales. And I want you to go, this apple is 150 grams. You guess, right? I want you to weigh it. I want you to tell me in the comments down below how far out that you actually were. And I've done this in many seminars and many workshops, and there's not one person that gets that right. I'll go a step further. If you weigh it, and let's just say you think it's 150 grams, now tell me how many calories there is without looking that up. You just don't know. And it's not your fault. It just is what it is. No one's ever taught you this before. No one's ever showed you this before. But that is the problem. We overeat by accident, not on purpose generally, okay? And then when we try and be good and we have a healthy salad and things like that, we're really completely unaware of how many calories that actually is. And when you start to look at this and maybe track stuff out and weigh stuff out, your mind will be absolutely blown, because you will realize that you're eating too much. And that's just what it is, okay? I'm really sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I want to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, okay? There are no hacks, no things. This is the closest you're going to come. Now, next slide, what we've got is, what are you going to do? This is your 7-day plan, okay? I want you to do 7-day plan. I want you to comment down below 7 days if you're going to take me up on this challenge. And I promise you, by the end of 7 days, you're going to learn so much. There is a statistic out there that says it takes about 20 hours to be proficient at any skill. There's been studies on this, okay? I want you to become proficient in the skill of understanding what your current diet looks like. And I want you to, number one, read food labels every single day. I want you to weigh out some of your favorite foods and meals and log the calories. You can use MyFitnessPal, you can write in a diary, it doesn't matter what that is. And I want you to see that for yourself. We've all got our favorite foods: nuts, sweets, chocolate, chips, wine, beers, pasta, whatever that is for you. And you're going to write down the calories. And I want you over the course of a week to try and get an idea of how many calories you actually eat per week. That is it. I don't want you to cut things out, and I just want you to do what you do, because your current state of affairs, being overweight or whatever that is a result of what you currently do. So let us find out what you currently do. And once we know what you currently do, then we're able to change it, okay? We don't have to do anything new or crazy. We just understand it. Then what I want you to do, if you can get it past week 1, okay, or past 7 days, it's going to be 7 to 14 days. I want you to reduce your calories by 300 to 500. Now, I don't want you to starve, and I don't want you to have hardly anything to eat. I want you to go through your food list and your food diary and identify the very high calorie foods. Could be chicken, could be oil, could be the steaks. And you really easily find that if you had half the butter, half the oil, half the cheese, you would save 300 to 500 calories simply like that, with doing nothing else whatsoever, just by weighing out that portion size. That's a bit too much. Cutting it in half and have it a little bit less. It could be if you like to drink alcohol and beers. You may not know there's 150 calories per beer, essentially, right? And you drink 3 a day or whatever that is. You have 1 a day, 1.5 per day. That will save you the calories you need to start losing weight. And that is what you do. Then over time, you get better at it. You keep on getting better at it. Then you can start to refine it. Then you can start maybe adding some more vegetables in, checking on your protein sources, maybe reducing the carbs, maybe if you feel that your diet is really carb heavy. And that is how you do this whole thing, okay? And that's how I teach my clients. That's how I do it. This is kind of exactly the same. And all it takes from you is a little bit of effort, 20 hours of targeted work and control. I promise you that you'll do it, right? So let me know in the comments, are you going to give this a try? Yes or no? It's too hard. Let me know your thoughts. But what I will say, there are very few people as honest as I am right now. And there are very few people that you probably know that have lost as much weight as me and kept it off for as long as I have. This is something that I'm very, very passionate about, and something I teach very, very well. Okay, so let me know what your thoughts are, and I would love to hear how you're getting on. That is the end of the video for me, team, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.